in the Chinese form is known as a shanxi. The Japanese name for is tes-sen. It is a very hidden weapon, and it's also interpreted in the Chinese form as the perfect hidden weapon. Not only because you don't get as questioned as much if you're carrying a fan as if you're carrying a sword. So if you're carrying a sword versus a fan, obviously, what is that man doing with a sword versus what is that lady or the man doing with the fan? In an open position, the fan is used in a very beautiful type fashion, as if when you swing the fan. Very feminine, very yin, very beautiful type movements. Walking back, sliding, and the yin, the female side. On the yang position, in the still form, or in a club form, again striking vicious, driving, so you have that balance of the yin and the yang. In my form, I have demonstrated the usage of the fan in the yin form, in the yin position, with striking movements, slicing movements. And in the form, I have also interpreted for the yang position, striking to the hard surface, the hard forms of the body, the jaw, the back of the head, back of the spine, top of the head. Mr. Brooks, if I may, sir? In the interpretation, and you will see in my form, there is a particular area where the fan becomes the yin. Comes open, showing that as he comes forth, you have that blocking motion. And you have this other hand free to still intercept the other hand. Comes across here, striking to a soft point. Coming back, then you have the slicing motion. Coming up here, the groin, coming up to the side, or coming up and coming into the throat position. My form will also show that as if this choking motion you want to also use here to the temple, in the yang position, to the temple, driving. And as I stated earlier, back shot, but the male side, the yang position. Thank you, sir. Gentlemen? Sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Downs?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Downs, I must say it's a real privilege for us to be out here and see your students doing so well, your school doing so well. And it's great to have you before us testing for your 8th degree
to be here.
Mr. Downs graduated from Texas Tech. I did not realize. Gee, I imagine that, being out of Lubbock in 1972. Started taking karate thereafter. He has been a great friend of all of us in Dallas, and myself and Mr. Mason and his father for, gosh, more than 20 years.
20, 25.
About 25 years, yes. So it's good to see that you're still training and producing the quality and caliber of student that you're producing. You have taken over this location from, I believe, Mr. Andy White. Wasn't he the one that? I've just seen this just briefly, so I'm doing quite a bit of it off the top of my head. But as I say, I've known Mr. Downs for a very long time. We've worked out with several instructors that have been the same, including David Archer and Mr. Dennis Gocher. Some very fine black belts in their own right. And let's see, you actually began teaching in '74 at a YMCA, and that was before.
Before my black belt, I was a brown belt.
Fantastic.
But as we discussed back then, brown belt was kind of hot stuff.
That's right. Many years ago, we weren't as fortunate to have as many black belts as we have now. Karate was so new in the United States. As Mr. Downs started teaching as a brown belt, I was running a school and teaching 3 classes a week as a blue belt, just because there weren't any higher ranks in the school other than our black belt who couldn't be there for the day classes. So it was quite different, not as necessarily better, but different at that time. In 1983, he produced and directed a 13-part series, Karate, for the local PBS station. That's quite a bit to do as well. And he was last promoted in July 22nd of 2000. And actually, it was in 2000 you were inducted to the Texas Martial Arts Hall of Fame, I believe. Very good. So we're quite proud of you. Ranking at 8th degree black belt is not that he can beat up every 7th degree and 6th degree and 5th degree that's out there. 8th degree black belt means it's what you've done before, what he did to get up to this point. Actually, the requirements, there aren't any requirements for him for today, but he elected, as I did, to continue doing something to show that even though we are older than we were when we first started, and we've continued on, that we're still alive and there's still martial arts in us, and will be our martial arts for the rest of our life. For someone to get as far as you have, as I mentioned earlier about giving back to the sport, Mr. Downs has certainly done that many, many times over, and that's why he's standing in front of Mr. Mason and I today, and all of you. So, Mr. Downs, without further ado, I'll ask you to perform the first kata that you've chosen to do. As I say, there are no exact requirements per se for today for Mr. Downs, so he gets to choose what he wishes to do. And I believe the name of your first kata, if I say it right, is Giri kata?
Sir.
The cut kata?
The cut kata.
It's up to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. This is the Japanese saber, the katana, and it was the primary weapon of the samurai. They held that their warrior spirit, some would say the soul of the warrior itself, was contained within the sword. And this kata is one that taught to me by one of my instructors, Dennis Gocher, who it's used to show you the various ways you do cut with the sword. Martial arts is the putting of weaponry back into our bodies. The knife hand, hammer fist, etc. Tool usage back into our bodies. But you have to take it and put it outside your body, then the weapon becomes part of you too. I hope within that spirit I can perform this kata.
demonstration will be a demonstration of self-defense using the cane.
Quite a jump from a sword to the cane. I had my choice, of course. I'd rather have a sword. Here's the good thing about a cane: you can go into an airport with a cane. You can take it anywhere. It's legal. And once again, we use that extension of yourself concept with the cane. Okay. Toby, would you work with me on this one, please? This is the cane as a defense against the front kick. He comes in for the kick. And then we can finish as necessary. Let me go ahead and Lynn, you come up for the second one here. You can just come around behind me. Now this is the bear hug underneath the arms. And Lynn's a big guy. This would normally pretty much hurt. I want to soften him some first. Pull. Go against here. Back downstairs again. Finish as necessary. And one more, Lynn. Try not to use your ookies too many times in a row. Break your workout partner, can't play with them anymore. Blade comes up, and he grabs me in a rear farm chokehold across the neck. And once again, we can use this to soften. First off, back here, and I reach up, grab this way, and pull. And we slide off a bit because if you don't, you'll cause lots of damage to the neck.
No breaking necks if you're.
Thank you, sir. Next, let's see, Chris, would you work with me on this? Chris is one of my Texas Tech students. Okay. Little rubber come off. Where did y'all hide all the rubber knives? Over here, sir. Huh? Have you got my plastics? I want to use mine, but is the big one in there?
No, sir.
That's okay. That's fine.
I just happen to have the sort of.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, these are nice. Is this one mine?
No, sir.
That's yours.
They look just like, oh, that one's mine.
I brought that one. You better put your name on it next time.
Well, I have an aluminum knife too, practice knife, but it doesn't have a blade, but it's dangerous enough, so I don't want to use it. Put a runner here, just so the board can see. These are knife techniques I teach in my Texas Tech class, and just to my general students too. Unarmed against the knife. And once again, you know, give me my choice, knife against 45 automatic, I'd rather do. But there's times you don't have that weapon. So you have to use what you got. First two will be stabs against the midsection here. These stabs. Still got that knife, huh? Yes, sir. Based on the keto maneuver Shihonage. The next one, another stab against the body. And break again. He was trying to stab me. And for this one, think back to the movie Psycho. Stabbing overhead. One more overhead like that. Cut your own bad self. I had one more, but Carl already did it. But I'm good anyway. Oh, I know what he didn't do. Who's the bad guy, remember? You get that right on my carotid artery, okay? If he gets my carotid, you guys are soaked in blood, and I die within a few seconds. What we want to do here, once again, sand a little bit. Taking the pressure points in the arm. Thank you, sir. Let's see. James is another black belt who affiliated with us through TAC. Let's do. I just want to use my self-defense classes. And really, I don't know which martial art I would equate it with. But if he comes up to stab, to choke me, then we go from here. Choke hold of our own. Great. Just tapping another. He's losing hair there. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And this concludes my self-defense demonstration for the day. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Lusk, I believe you're going to do a sparring demonstration for us, and if you and whomever of your helpers that are going to help you spar, go ahead and put your safety equipment on. Get ready for this.
This is to recognize Sam as having spent her provisional year. We used to say probational, but that sounds like she's been in jail.
We say that. Provisional sounds good, though. I like that.
This is pretty much a symbolic gesture, because I know you will probably go and get the thing embroidered after this. But if you'll come out here to Sam. Sam spent the year teaching, well, assisted teaching and training regularly, maintaining good, high moral standards and excellent grades. She's an honor student. So it's my pleasure. Congratulate her at this point. Congratulations, Miss Illman. We don't have your spar facing this way. Oh, we did that the first time. I was sparring, we always sparred this way. I realized the board's that way. Gentlemen, salute this way, please. Salute the Board of Governors, please. And give them up. Now each other. Take gloves. And, well, I said, let's be fancy, let's be flashy. Shoot! And break. Back away from the Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Greg, if you'll step back.
Yes, sir.
Get Greg water. Yeah. Yes, sir, Greg. Good luck. Just transferred here from another school. He had just beautiful, wonderful kicks and everything, so I started calling him rubber legs. And I asked him what the difference was between this school and the one he had. He says, y'all really hit each other.
Mr. Baker, where are you from?
It's from Portland, Texas, originally ITA, Taekwondo.
Yes, sir. Good to have you.
Been training for a long time.
Fantastic. Good to hear.
Gentlemen, out of the Board of Governors, please. Each other. Oh, well, we'll get all that. Take your gloves.
It's not 1,000 or
Knock
6,000.
back up a little bit. Right. Continue.
Good job, James.
Break away from the. We'll just have one more flash. Continue. And in. Got each other please. Very good. Okay. I guess. Mr. Gonzales, Mr. Blas.
Okay, three testing black belts up here. We'd like the black belts that did not test, if you'd come up, stand behind us, please, stand with us. Because you guys are all a part of what happened today as well.
Well, I just want to congratulate everybody who came up this afternoon to perform for us. As you can see, they've all trained hard and they've learned a lot. And I've always said that the black belts had beyond first degree black belt is more for the students and the parents and people that are here to watch. As you can see, they're always teaching. Things that they've learned, they're sharing with us. And that shows you never stop learning and you never stop teaching. It's a lifelong journey. I just want to congratulate everybody up here for such a great job.
And it is an honor for us to be here, truly. I had mentioned earlier, and you may have felt it was in jest about when I mentioned that I was here from Ms. Gonzales' second degree black belt test. I hope to be here for your fifth degree because I hope you continue giving back to the martial arts as you all have done. Continue giving back to the students, and it's our legacy that we're gonna have that's gonna last far beyond when we're around. We make a difference in our students' lives, and Mr. Downs and Mr. Mason and I were talking when we were coming from the airport this morning about students that we're teaching now that are children of children that we taught, and sometimes in the third generation. And that means that we did well, that we taught our students well, and we gave them the kind of morals and discipline and self-confidence that they needed and that they want their children to need. So never quit giving back. We have failures in our life, but failures are only a road to success. As long as you're failing, that means you're keeping trying. Thomas Edison had lots of failures before he ever came up with the light bulb. He only had one success. He had many failures before that. The loser is the one that just quits trying. And we're not losers. And that's why you're standing up in front of us today. Again, congratulations. Starting off with Mr. Les. It is our pleasure to, I'll let you do this. Mr. Kevin Les, step forward, please. It's our honor to promote you to second degree black belt. Gonzales. Again, it is our honor to be standing in front of you again. And it is our honor to award you the rank of 5th degree black belt. Mr. Tom Downs. Cannot say enough good things about you and the friendship that we've had in the past and continue to have after this. It is our great honor to award upon you from the American Karate Black Belt Association the rank of 8th degree black belt. Congratulations. Again, thank you to all you fine black belts that came and helped, and even if you didn't do anything, you just supported. It's greatly, greatly appreciated by us as well as these fine ladies. Sir, you got that.
Hit it. Okay.
Congratulations.
Sir.
11? Okay.
Congratulations.
Before everybody takes off, if I can get a picture. If I can get a picture of everybody before they take off.
Oh, okay, okay. You remember,